Ever felt tongue-tied or misunderstood? The audiobook, Speak Smartly, Critical Thinking for Effective Communication, reveals how critical thinking can transform your communication. You'll learn to express ideas clearly, build meaningful relationships, and boost your influence. Master the art of persuasion, resolve conflicts, and give constructive feedback. Don't let poor communication hold you back. This book is your key to becoming a confident, respected communicator in every aspect of life. Unlock your potential. Speak smartly. Before we go on, I invite you to download the free bundle, which contains the ebook version of this book and an executive summary of all the chapters with the key takeaways. Studies show that engaging with content through multiple formats significantly enhances learning and retention. Click on the first link in the description to claim your free bundle now and maximize your learning potential. Now it's free, but it won't be for long, so make sure to grab it while you can. Chapter 1: The Smart Start. In a world inundated with information, the ability to communicate effectively has never been more crucial. Yet, amidst the noise of constant chatter and endless digital exchanges, true understanding often remains elusive. What if there was a way to cut through the clutter, to express yourself with clarity and precision, and to comprehend others with depth and insight? This is where the power of critical thinking in communication comes into play. Critical thinking is the cornerstone of effective communication. It's the cognitive process that allows us to analyze, evaluate, and reconstruct our thoughts in a way that leads to clearer, more impactful expression. But what exactly is critical thinking, and how does it relate to the way we communicate? At its core, critical thinking is a disciplined approach to processing information. It involves questioning assumptions, examining evidence, and drawing reasoned conclusions. When applied to communication, it transforms the way we listen, speak, and interpret messages. It's the difference between passively absorbing information and actively engaging with ideas. As you embark on this journey through Speak Smartly, you'll discover that critical thinking is not just an academic exercise. It's a practical tool that can revolutionize your everyday interactions. From casual conversations to high-stakes negotiations, the principles you'll learn in this book will empower you to communicate with greater precision and impact. Let's consider what you can expect to achieve as you work through this book for the first time. Foremost, you'll develop a foundational understanding of critical thinking. This isn't about memorizing complex theories. It's about grasping the essential concepts that will allow you to approach communication more thoughtfully. You'll learn to recognize the difference between surface-level reactions and deeper, more analytical responses. Moreover, you'll begin to see the profound impact that critical thinking can have on your communication. You'll notice how it helps you formulate clearer arguments, ask more insightful questions, and interpret messages with greater accuracy. This newfound awareness will be like putting on a pair of glasses that suddenly brings the world into sharper focus. Perhaps most importantly, you'll start applying critical thinking skills in your everyday interactions. You might find yourself pausing before responding to a colleague's email, taking a moment to consider the most effective way to frame your thoughts. Or you may catch yourself questioning the validity of an argument you hear on the news, rather than accepting it at face value. But the benefits of integrating critical thinking into your communication style extend far beyond these initial gains. Over time, as you continue to practice and refine these skills, you'll experience a cascade of positive outcomes. Your decision-making abilities will be enhanced as you learn to weigh evidence more effectively and consider multiple perspectives before reaching conclusions. Your personal and professional relationships will likely improve as well. By communicating more clearly and listening more attentively, you'll foster deeper understanding and stronger connections with others. Misunderstandings will decrease, and your ability to resolve conflicts constructively will increase. Furthermore, you'll find yourself approaching complex discussions with increased confidence. Whether you're presenting ideas in a boardroom, engaging in a heated debate, or navigating a sensitive personal conversation, the critical thinking tools you'll acquire will serve as your compass, guiding you towards more productive and satisfying outcomes. So, what's involved in this transformation, and what are the most important steps? The journey begins with learning the core principles of critical thinking. You'll explore concepts like logical reasoning, evidence evaluation, and the art of asking probing questions. These foundational skills will form the bedrock upon which you'll build your enhanced communication abilities. Next, you'll delve into the fascinating world of cognitive biases, those mental shortcuts that can lead us astray in our thinking and communication. Understanding these biases is crucial because they often operate beneath our conscious awareness, subtly influencing how we perceive and interact with the world. By recognizing these biases, you'll be better equipped to overcome them, leading to clearer, more objective communication. The final key step involves setting clear communication goals that align with critical thinking principles. This means moving beyond vague intentions like, "I want to be a better communicator," to specific, actionable objectives. You might, for example, aim to improve your ability to summarize complex ideas succinctly or to ask more thought-provoking questions during discussions. Why have we chosen these steps, and why are they presented in this order? The sequence is deliberate, designed to build your skills progressively. We start by establishing a solid foundation in critical thinking because this forms the basis for all subsequent improvements in your communication. Without this grounding, any techniques you learn risk being superficial or misapplied. Addressing cognitive biases early in the process is crucial because these hidden influences can undermine even the most well-intentioned communication efforts. By tackling them head-on, we clear the path for more effective learning and application of the skills to come. Finally, setting aligned goals prepares you for the practical application of what you'll learn in the following chapters. It bridges the gap between theory and practice, ensuring that you're not just absorbing information passively, but actively working towards tangible improvements in your communication skills. As we delve deeper into understanding critical thinking, it's important to distinguish it from regular thinking. While regular thinking often relies on intuition, habit, or quick reactions, critical thinking is a more deliberate, structured approach. It involves analyzing arguments, questioning assumptions, and evaluating evidence before drawing conclusions. The connection between thought and communication is profound and bidirectional. Our thoughts shape the words we choose and the way we express ourselves. Conversely, the language we use can influence our thought patterns and perceptions. By honing your critical thinking skills, you'll gain greater control over this interplay, allowing you to communicate with more precision and effectiveness. Of course, the path to improved communication is not without its obstacles. Common barriers include misconceptions about what constitutes effective communication, as well as deeply ingrained assumptions that can cloud our judgment. Recognizing these barriers is the first step in overcoming them. As we conclude this chapter, it's important to reflect on the journey ahead. The skills and insights you'll gain from this book have the potential to transform not just how you communicate, but how you think about communication itself. You'll develop a more nuanced understanding of language, a keener awareness of the motivations behind messages, and a greater capacity for meaningful dialogue. In the chapters that follow, we'll explore a range of critical thinking strategies that will enhance various aspects of your communication. From mindful listening to logical argumentation, from emotional intelligence to persuasive techniques, each chapter will build upon the foundation laid here. Remember, the goal is not perfection, but progress. Each step you take towards more thoughtful, critical communication is a step towards clearer understanding, stronger relationships, and more impactful interactions. As you turn the page to the next chapter, prepare to dive deeper into the art of mindful listening, a skill that will revolutionize the way you engage with others and process information. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to Grow to the Top and activate notifications to receive more self-improvement tips that will supercharge your growth. And make sure to give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. It really helps the channel grow. Thank you for your support. Chapter 2, Mindful Listening. Have you ever found yourself in a conversation where you suddenly realize you haven't heard a word the other person has said? Or perhaps you've been in a meeting where everyone seems to be talking, but no one is truly listening. These scenarios are all too common in our fast-paced, distraction-filled world. But what if there was a way to transform these interactions into meaningful exchanges that foster understanding, build relationships, and lead to more effective communication? Enter the realm of mindful listening. This powerful skill goes beyond merely hearing words. It's about fully engaging with the speaker and the message being conveyed. But what exactly does it mean to listen mindfully, and why is it so crucial for effective communication? At its core, mindful listening is about presence. It's the art of being fully in the moment, giving your undivided attention to the person speaking. This might sound simple, but in practice, it's a skill that requires cultivation and practice. In a world where multitasking is often glorified, the ability to focus solely on one person and one message is becoming increasingly rare and increasingly valuable. The importance of this skill in effective communication cannot be overstated. When we truly listen, we open the door to a deeper understanding of others. This understanding forms the foundation of trust and rapport, two essential elements in any meaningful relationship, whether personal or professional. Consider for a moment the last time you felt truly heard. How did it make you feel? Valued? Respected? Important? These positive feelings are the natural result of mindful listening, and they contribute significantly to building strong, lasting connections with others. Moreover, mindful listening plays a crucial role in reducing misunderstandings. How often have conflicts arisen from simple miscommunications? By giving our full attention to the speaker and seeking to understand their message completely, we can significantly reduce the likelihood of misinterpretations and the problems they can cause. But what distinguishes mindful listening from simply hearing? The difference is profound. Hearing is a passive process. Sound waves enter our ears, and our brains process the auditory information. Listening, on the other hand, is an active engagement with the message being conveyed. It involves not just our ears, but our minds, and often our hearts as well. Active listening, a key component of mindful listening, takes this engagement even further. It involves fully concentrating on the speaker, understanding their message, responding thoughtfully, and remembering key points of the conversation. This level of engagement offers numerous benefits, from improved comprehension and retention of information to enhanced empathy and stronger relationships. To truly master the art of mindful listening, we need to develop specific techniques that help us stay focused and engaged. One of the most crucial steps is eliminating distractions. In our technology-driven world, this can be challenging. It might mean putting away your phone, closing unnecessary tabs on your computer, or finding a quiet space for important conversations. But distractions aren't always external. Often, the biggest obstacle to mindful listening is our own internal dialogue. We might be formulating our response while the other person is still speaking, or our mind might wander to unrelated thoughts. Recognizing when this happens and gently bringing our attention back to the speaker is a key skill in mindful listening. Interestingly, effective listening isn't just about what we hear, it's also about what we see and sense. Nonverbal cues play a significant role in communication, and being attuned to these can greatly enhance our understanding. Facial expressions, body language, tone of voice, all these elements contribute to the full message being conveyed. By paying attention to these nonverbal aspects, we can gain a more complete understanding of the speaker's thoughts and feelings. But mindful listening goes beyond just receiving information accurately. It's also about enhancing our understanding through active engagement. One powerful technique for doing this is paraphrasing and summarizing. By restating the speaker's message in our own words, we not only check our understanding, but also demonstrate to the speaker that we're fully engaged with their message. Asking clarifying questions is another valuable tool in the mindful listener's arsenal. These questions show that we're actively processing the information and seeking to understand it fully. They can help uncover nuances, clarify ambiguities, and deepen the conversation. However, it's important to use this technique judiciously. Too many interruptions can disrupt the flow of the conversation and make the speaker feel interrogated rather than heard. As we delve deeper into the practice of mindful listening, we begin to see its profound impact on building trust. When we give someone our full attention, we're sending a powerful message. You are important. What you have to say matters to me. This demonstration of respect and value forms the bedrock of trust in any relationship. Empathy plays a crucial role in this trust-building process. By truly listening, we open ourselves to understanding the speaker's perspective, even if it differs from our own. This doesn't mean we have to agree with everything they say, but it does mean we're willing to consider their point of view. This openness and understanding are key components of empathetic communication. Establishing rapport through mindful listening is a skill that can transform our interactions. It involves creating a sense of harmony and understanding between individuals. When we listen mindfully, we're more likely to pick up on subtle cues that help us connect with the speaker. We might notice shared interests, similar experiences, or common goals. These points of connection can serve as bridges, fostering a sense of mutual understanding and respect. To truly internalize the practice of mindful listening, it's essential to engage in practical exercises. One powerful exercise is to focus entirely on your next conversation without interrupting. This might sound simple, but you'll likely find it challenging at first. Our natural tendency is often to interject with our own thoughts or experiences. By consciously refraining from interrupting, you allow the speaker to fully express their thoughts and feelings. Another valuable exercise is to practice reflection after a conversation. Take a few moments to mentally recall the key points shared. What were the main ideas? What emotions did the speaker express? What questions do you still have? This reflection not only helps reinforce what you've heard, but also prepares you for more meaningful follow-up conversations. As you begin to incorporate these practices into your daily life, you'll likely notice some immediate improvements. You might find yourself more focused during conversations, less prone to distraction. This increased focus is a good outcome, laying the groundwork for more significant improvements. With continued practice, you may achieve an excellent outcome, an enhanced ability to understand and remember details from your conversations. You'll find yourself recalling important points more easily and gaining a deeper understanding of the people you interact with. The best outcome, however, goes beyond mere information retention. It's about building deeper connections and trust with others. When people consistently feel heard and understood in their interactions with you, it can transform your relationships. Colleagues may seek you out for advice, friends may confide in you more readily, and you may find yourself better able to navigate complex interpersonal situations. Of course, the path to becoming a mindful listener isn't always smooth. One common pitfall is the tendency to interrupt. We often do this with the best intentions. We're eager to share our own insights or experiences. However, interruptions can disrupt the speaker's train of thought and make them feel unheard. If you find yourself prone to interrupting, practice patience. Remind yourself that there will be time to respond once the speaker has finished their thought. Another challenge is dealing with distractions. In our hyper-connected world, it's easy to be pulled away by a notification or a stray thought. Implementing mindfulness techniques can help you stay present. This might involve taking a deep breath to center yourself before an important conversation or setting a mental intention to focus fully on the speaker. As we conclude this exploration of mindful listening, it's clear that this skill is about much more than just hearing words. It's about creating a space where genuine understanding can flourish, where trust can grow, and where communication can reach new depths of meaning and effectiveness. The journey to becoming a truly mindful listener is ongoing. Each conversation presents a new opportunity to practice and refine your skills. As you move forward, remember that the goal isn't perfection, but progress. Each time you catch yourself drifting and bring your attention back to the speaker, you're strengthening your mindful listening muscles. As we look ahead to the next chapter, we'll build on the foundation of mindful listening to explore another crucial aspect of effective communication. How do we take the understanding we've gained through listening and translate it into clear, impactful expression? The answer lies in a skill that's equally important but often overlooked. Prepare to discover how this next piece of the puzzle can dramatically enhance your ability to connect, persuade, and inspire. Chapter 3: Clear Expression. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you had a brilliant idea, but when you tried to explain it, your words fell flat? Or perhaps you've been in a meeting where someone spoke for 10 minutes, and at the end you weren't quite sure what they were trying to say. These scenarios highlight a crucial aspect of communication that often goes overlooked: the art of clear expression. Clear expression is more than just speaking or writing coherently. It's about conveying your thoughts in a way that not only makes sense to you, but resonates with your audience. It's the bridge between the ideas in your mind and the understanding in someone else's. But what exactly does it mean to express yourself clearly, and why is it so vital in our increasingly complex world of communication? At its core, clear expression is about precision and impact. It's the ability to take the swirling thoughts in your mind and distill them into a message that's not only understood but felt by your audience. This skill is crucial in preventing miscommunication, which can lead to misunderstandings, conflicts, and missed opportunities. When you express yourself clearly, you leave little room for interpretation or confusion. Moreover, clear expression significantly enhances your persuasiveness. Think about the most influential speakers or writers you know. Chances are they have a knack for expressing complex ideas in simple, relatable terms. They can take abstract concepts and make them tangible, turning potential confusion into aha moments. This ability to clarify and persuade is a powerful tool in both personal and professional settings. But how do we achieve this level of clarity in our communication? It starts with organizing your thoughts. Before you speak or write, take a moment to structure your message. What's the main point you want to convey? What supporting details are crucial to understanding this point? By creating a mental or physical outline, you provide a roadmap not just for yourself, but for your audience as well. Prioritizing key points is another crucial aspect of organizing your thoughts. Not all information is equally important, and trying to convey everything at once can overwhelm your audience. Instead, focus on the most critical elements of your message. What does your audience absolutely need to know? What information will have the most significant impact? By highlighting these key points, you ensure that even if your audience remembers nothing else, they'll retain the most crucial aspects of your message. Once you've organized your thoughts, the next step is to choose your words carefully. Language is the vehicle of your ideas, and the words you choose can make or break your message. Aim for clarity and precision. Use concrete terms rather than abstract ones when possible. For instance, instead of saying, "the project was successful," you might say, "the project increased sales by 30%. The latter gives a clear, measurable indication of success. Avoiding ambiguity is equally important. Ambiguous language can lead to misunderstandings and misinterpretations. Be specific in your communication. Instead of saying soon, say by next Tuesday. Instead of a lot, say 250 units. This precision leaves no room for confusion and ensures that everyone is on the same page. However, clear expression isn't just about the words you choose. It's also about how you adapt your message to your audience. Understanding your audience's needs, background, and expectations is crucial for effective communication. What does your audience already know about the topic? What are their primary concerns or interests? By considering these factors, you can tailor your message to resonate more effectively with your listeners or readers. Cultural sensitivity also plays a significant role in adapting to your audience. In our increasingly globalized world, it's common to communicate with people from diverse cultural backgrounds. Being aware of cultural differences in communication styles, norms, and expectations can help you avoid misunderstandings and express yourself more effectively across cultural boundaries. While we've focused primarily on verbal communication so far, it's important to remember that clear expression extends beyond words. Nonverbal communication, including body language, tone, and inflection, can significantly impact how your message is received. Your posture, facial expressions, and gestures can reinforce or contradict your words. Similarly, the tone and inflection of your voice can convey emotion, emphasis, and meaning that go beyond the literal interpretation of your words. For instance, consider the phrase, "I didn't say you were wrong." Depending on which word you emphasize, this sentence can have several different meanings. "I didn't say you were wrong" implies someone else said it. "I didn't say you were wrong" suggests you communicated it in some other way. "I didn't say you were wrong" implies you said something else was wrong. This example illustrates how tone and inflection can completely change the meaning of your words. To truly master clear expression, it's essential to practice regularly. One effective exercise, particularly suitable for those who prefer audio learning, is to practice summarizing ideas in one sentence. Take a complex concept or a lengthy article and challenge yourself to distill its essence into a single, clear sentence. This exercise forces you to identify the core message and express it concisely. Another valuable practice is to record yourself explaining a concept and then listen back for clarity. This exercise can be eye-opening or perhaps ear-opening. Often, what sounds clear in our heads can come out muddled when we speak. By listening to yourself, you can identify areas where you tend to ramble, use filler words, or lose focus. This self-awareness is the first step to improvement. As you begin to incorporate these practices into your daily communication, you'll likely notice some immediate improvements. A good outcome might be the ability to convey your messages more clearly. You'll find that people understand you better the first time, reducing the need for repetition or clarification. With continued practice, you may achieve an excellent outcome, increased effectiveness in persuading others. When you express yourself clearly, your ideas become more compelling. You'll find it easier to gain support for your proposals, convince others of your viewpoint, or inspire action in your audience. The best outcome, however, is becoming recognized as a clear and impactful communicator. This reputation can open doors in both your personal and professional life. People will seek out your input, value your contributions, and trust your judgment. Clear communicators often find themselves in leadership positions because of their ability to articulate vision, provide clear direction, and inspire others. Of course, the path to clear expression isn't without its challenges. One common pitfall is overcomplicating messages. In an attempt to appear knowledgeable or thorough, we sometimes use unnecessarily complex language or include too much information. The solution is to simplify your language and focus on key points. Remember, the goal is clarity, not complexity. Another potential issue is misreading your audience. You might craft what you believe is a clear, compelling message, only to find that it doesn't resonate with your listeners or readers. The fix for this is to invest time in understanding your audience better. Research their background, interests, and needs. The more you know about your audience, the better you can tailor your message to them. As we conclude this exploration of clear expression, it's evident that this skill is about much more than just speaking or writing well. It's about bridging the gap between your thoughts and your audience's understanding. It's about crafting messages that not only inform, but resonate and inspire. Clear expression is a powerful tool that can enhance every aspect of your communication, from casual conversations to high-stakes presentations. The journey to mastering clear expression is ongoing. Each interaction presents a new opportunity to practice and refine your skills. As you move forward, remember that the goal isn't perfection, but progress. Each time you successfully convey a complex idea simply or see the light of understanding in someone's eyes, you're strengthening your clear expression muscles. As we look ahead to the next chapter, we'll build on the foundation of clear expression to explore another crucial aspect of effective communication. We've learned how to organize our thoughts and express them clearly, but how do we ensure that our arguments are sound and our reasoning is solid? The answer lies in a skill that forms the backbone of persuasive communication. Prepare to discover how this next piece of the puzzle can elevate your ability to influence, convince, and lead. Chapter 4: Logical Thinking. Have you ever found yourself in a heated debate, certain of your position, only to realize later that your argument had more holes than a slice of Swiss cheese? Or perhaps you've been swayed by a compelling speaker, only to discover upon reflection that their words, while persuasive, lacked substance. These scenarios highlight a critical aspect of communication that often goes overlooked: the power of logical thinking. But what exactly is logical thinking, and why is it so crucial in our interactions? At its core, logical thinking is about constructing and analyzing arguments in a way that is coherent, consistent, and based on sound reasoning. It's the foundation upon which we build our ideas, opinions, and beliefs. But more than that, it's a tool that, when wielded skillfully, can dramatically enhance our ability to communicate effectively and persuasively. The importance of logical thinking in effective communication cannot be overstated. For one, it helps build credibility. When you present your ideas in a logical, well-structured manner, you demonstrate that you've given careful thought to your position. This thoughtfulness inspires confidence in your audience, whether they're colleagues, clients, or friends. They're more likely to trust your judgment and take your ideas seriously. Moreover, logical thinking is a powerful tool for persuasion. When your arguments are built on a solid logical foundation, they become much more difficult to refute. You're not just stating opinions, you're presenting a reasoned case that others can follow and understand. This clarity and coherence make your ideas more compelling and more likely to influence others. But how do we develop and apply logical thinking in our communication? It starts with understanding the foundations of logical reasoning. There are two main types of reasoning: deductive and inductive. Deductive reasoning moves from general principles to specific conclusions. If the premises are true, the conclusion must be true. For example, if all mammals are warm-blooded and all dogs are mammals, then all dogs must be warm-blooded. Inductive reasoning, on the other hand, moves from specific observations to broader generalizations. While not as certain as deductive reasoning, it's often more applicable in real-world situations where we don't have all the information. For instance, if you observe that every swan you've ever seen is white, you might inductively reason that all swans are white, even though this conclusion could be proven false by the existence of black swans. Understanding these different types of reasoning helps us structure our arguments more effectively. It also helps us recognize the strengths and limitations of different types of arguments we encounter. Another key aspect of logical thinking is the ability to recognize and avoid logical fallacies. These are errors in reasoning that may seem persuasive but are actually invalid. Common fallacies include ad hominem attacks, attacking the person rather than their argument, false dichotomies, presenting only two options when there are more, and slippery slope arguments, assuming one small step will inevitably lead to extreme consequences. By familiarizing ourselves with these fallacies, we can not only avoid them in our own arguments, but also identify them in others' arguments. This skill is invaluable in critical analysis and debate, allowing us to cut through rhetoric and focus on the substance of an argument. But logical thinking isn't just about avoiding errors, it's also about building strong, compelling arguments. This process begins with clearly stating your position or claim. What exactly are you trying to prove or argue? Once you have a clear thesis, you need to support it with evidence. This evidence could be facts, statistics, expert opinions, or logical reasoning. However, not all evidence is created equal. The strength of your argument depends not just on the quantity of evidence, but its quality and relevance. Is your evidence from reliable sources? Is it directly related to your claim? Does it provide sufficient support for your conclusion? These are all questions to consider when building your argument. Critical analysis skills play a crucial role in both constructing and evaluating arguments. This involves carefully examining the information sources you're using. Are they credible? Do they have any potential biases? It's also about questioning assumptions, both your own and those underlying the arguments you encounter. What unstated premises are these arguments based on? Are these assumptions valid? Developing these skills takes practice, but there are exercises you can do to improve your logical thinking abilities. One effective practice, particularly suitable for those who prefer audio learning, is to analyze arguments you encounter in news or media for logical consistency. As you listen to debates or discussions, try to identify the main claims being made and the evidence presented to support them. Are the arguments logically sound? Can you spot any fallacies? Another valuable exercise is to practice formulating arguments on everyday topics. Choose a subject you're interested in and try to construct a logical argument about it. Start with a clear claim, then think about what evidence you would need to support it. Consider potential counterarguments and how you would address them. This practice helps you internalize the structures of logical argumentation. As you begin to incorporate logical thinking into your communication, you'll likely notice some immediate improvements. A good outcome might be improved reasoning in discussions. You'll find yourself better able to articulate your thoughts and defend your positions. Your arguments will become more structured and coherent. With continued practice, you may achieve an excellent outcome: the ability to persuade others with logical arguments. You'll become more effective at influencing decisions and changing minds. Your ideas will carry more weight because they're backed by sound reasoning and evidence. The best outcome, however, is becoming a respected voice in debates and discussions. When you consistently demonstrate logical thinking in your communication, people will come to value your input. They'll seek out your opinion on complex issues because they trust your ability to analyze situations rationally and arrive at well-reasoned conclusions. Of course, the path to mastering logical thinking isn't without its challenges. One common pitfall is falling into fallacies despite our best efforts to avoid them. These errors in reasoning can be subtle and sometimes feel intuitively correct. The solution is to regularly review common fallacies and practice identifying them. Over time, you'll develop a sort of fallacy radar that helps you spot and avoid these logical traps. Another potential issue is relying on weak evidence to support your arguments. In our eagerness to prove our point, we might grasp at any information that seems to support our position without critically evaluating its strength or relevance. The fix for this is to be more discerning in your use of evidence. Always strive to find the most reliable, relevant, and compelling support for your arguments. Remember, a few strong pieces of evidence are often more persuasive than a multitude of weak ones. As we conclude this exploration of logical thinking, it's clear that this skill is about much more than winning arguments or being right. It's about approaching communication with a commitment to reason, evidence, and truth. It's about elevating the quality of our discourse, whether in personal conversations, professional settings, or public debates. Logical thinking equips us to navigate complex issues, make sound decisions, and communicate our ideas with clarity and force. The journey to mastering logical thinking is ongoing. Each argument we construct or analyze presents a new opportunity to apply and refine our skills. As you move forward, remember that the goal isn't to achieve perfect logic in every interaction, but to continually improve our ability to think and communicate clearly and rationally. As we look ahead to the next chapter, we'll build on the foundation of logical thinking to explore another crucial dimension of effective communication. We've learned how to construct sound arguments and analyze information critically, but how do we navigate the complex landscape of human emotions and relationships? The answer lies in a skill that can transform the way we connect with others and understand ourselves. Prepare to discover how this next piece of the puzzle can elevate your ability to communicate with empathy, insight, and impact. Chapter 5: Emotional Intelligence. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to navigate social situations with effortless grace while others struggle to connect? Or why certain individuals can remain calm and composed in high-pressure situations while others crumble under stress? The answer to these questions lies in a powerful yet often overlooked aspect of human interaction, a quality that goes beyond logic and reason tapping into the very essence of what makes us human. This elusive quality is not about intellectual prowess or technical skill. It's not about having the right words or the perfect argument. Instead, it's about understanding and managing something far more fundamental to our nature, our emotions. But what exactly does this mean, and how can it transform the way we communicate? At its core, this quality is about recognizing that emotions play a crucial role in every interaction we have. It's about understanding that beneath the surface of our logical thoughts and carefully chosen words lies a complex web of feelings that influence how we express ourselves and how we interpret others. This awareness forms the foundation of what psychologists call emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, or EI, is not just a buzzword. It's a set of skills that can dramatically enhance our ability to communicate effectively and build strong, meaningful relationships. But why is it so important for effective communication? First and foremost, emotional intelligence helps us enhance our interpersonal relationships. When we're attuned to our own emotions and those of others, we can navigate social situations with greater ease and authenticity. We become better at reading subtle cues, understanding unspoken needs, and responding in ways that foster connection rather than conflict. Moreover, emotional intelligence is crucial for managing conflicts effectively. In any disagreement, emotions often run high, clouding judgment and hindering productive dialogue. Those with high emotional intelligence can recognize these emotional undercurrents and address them constructively, leading to more positive outcomes. But to truly harness the power of emotional intelligence, we need to understand the role that emotions play in communication. This starts with emotional awareness, the ability to recognize and name our own emotions as they arise. It might seem simple, but many of us go through life only vaguely aware of our emotional states, reacting to situations without fully understanding why. Developing this awareness can be transformative. When we can identify our emotions accurately, we gain valuable insight into our own behavior and motivations. We might realize, for instance, that our irritation in a meeting stems not from the content being discussed, but from underlying anxiety about an upcoming deadline. This awareness allows us to address the root cause of our feelings rather than lashing out inappropriately. Equally important is understanding the impact of emotions on perception. Our emotional state acts as a filter through which we interpret the world around us. When we're in a positive mood, we're more likely to view situations optimistically and respond generously to others. Conversely, when we're feeling negative, we might interpret neutral comments as criticism or see challenges as insurmountable obstacles. Recognizing this emotional lens helps us communicate more effectively. We can learn to pause and consider how our current emotional state might be influencing our perceptions. This pause can prevent misunderstandings and allow for more balanced, thoughtful responses. But emotional intelligence isn't just about recognizing emotions. It's also about managing them effectively. This is where self-regulation comes into play. Self-regulation doesn't mean suppressing our emotions or maintaining a stoic facade. Instead, it's about responding to our emotions in ways that are productive and appropriate to the situation. Developing strong self-regulation skills requires practice and patience. One effective strategy is to create a mental pause button that you can activate when you feel your emotions rising. This pause gives you a moment to assess the situation, consider your options, and choose a response that aligns with your long-term goals rather than your immediate emotional impulse. Stress management techniques are also crucial for effective self-regulation. High-stress situations can amplify our emotional responses, making it harder to communicate clearly and rationally. Techniques like deep breathing, mindfulness meditation, or even simple physical exercises can help lower stress levels and keep our emotions in check. As we develop our emotional intelligence, we also enhance our capacity for empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. Empathy is the bridge that connects us to others on an emotional level, allowing for deeper, more meaningful communication. Cultivating empathy involves more than just imagining how we might feel in someone else's situation. It requires us to set aside our own perspectives and truly listen to others, paying attention not just to their words, but to their tone, body language, and emotional cues. It means suspending judgment and trying to understand their unique experiences and viewpoints. Building emotional connections through empathy can transform our interactions. When people feel truly understood, they're more likely to open up, share their thoughts and feelings honestly, and engage in productive dialogue. This creates a positive feedback loop, fostering stronger relationships and more effective communication over time. To develop these emotional intelligence skills, practice is key. One practical exercise, particularly suitable for those who prefer audio learning, is emotion journaling. Set aside a few minutes each day to reflect on your emotional experiences. What emotions did you feel throughout the day? What triggered them? How did they influence your behavior and interactions? This practice can dramatically increase your emotional self-awareness over time. Another valuable exercise is empathy practice. As you go about your day, make a conscious effort to consider situations from others' perspectives. When you encounter a disagreement or conflict, pause and try to imagine what the other person might be feeling and why. This doesn't mean you have to agree with them, but it can help you respond with greater understanding and compassion. As you begin to incorporate these practices into your daily life, you'll likely notice some immediate improvements. A good outcome might be better control over your personal emotions. You'll find yourself less reactive in challenging situations, able to maintain composure and respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively. With continued practice, you may achieve an excellent outcome, improved ability to read others' emotions. You'll become more attuned to subtle emotional cues, allowing you to navigate social situations with greater ease and sensitivity. This skill can be particularly valuable in professional settings, where understanding the unspoken dynamics of a room can give you a significant advantage. The best outcome, however, is the development of stronger relationships and leadership skills. As you become more emotionally intelligent, you'll find that people are naturally drawn to you. Your ability to understand and connect with others on an emotional level will make you a more effective communicator, a more empathetic friend, and a more inspiring leader. Of course, the path to emotional intelligence isn't without its challenges. One common pitfall is emotional overreaction. Even as we become more aware of our emotions, we may still find ourselves overwhelmed by them at times. The key is to practice calming techniques consistently, building your emotional resilience over time. Another potential issue is misreading others' emotions. While we may become more attuned to emotional cues, it's still possible to misinterpret them. The solution is to enhance your observation skills and, when in doubt, ask clarifying questions. Remember, assuming you know how someone feels is not the same as truly understanding their emotional state. As we conclude this exploration of emotional intelligence, it's clear that this skill is about much more than just managing our feelings. It's about deepening our understanding of ourselves and others, enhancing our ability to connect and communicate on a profound level. Emotional intelligence allows us to navigate the complex landscape of human interactions with greater skill and sensitivity, leading to richer, more fulfilling relationships in all areas of life. The journey to developing emotional intelligence is ongoing. Each interaction presents a new opportunity to apply and refine these skills. As you move forward, remember that the goal isn't to achieve perfect emotional control or to become a mind reader. Instead, it's about continually improving our ability to recognize, understand, and navigate the emotional currents that underlie all human communication. As we look ahead to the next chapter, we'll build on the foundation of emotional intelligence to explore another crucial dimension of effective communication. We've learned how to understand and manage emotions, but how do we use this knowledge to actively shape the thoughts and behaviors of others? The answer lies in a set of skills that can transform the way we influence and inspire those around us. Prepare to discover how this next piece of the puzzle can elevate your ability to communicate with purpose, power, and lasting impact. Chapter 6: Persuasive Techniques. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have a magnetic quality about them? They speak, and others listen. They suggest, and others follow. They lead, and others willingly fall in line. What is it about these individuals that gives them such power over others? Is it charisma, natural talent, or is there something more at play? A set of skills that can be learned and mastered by anyone willing to put in the effort. The truth is, there's an art to influencing others, a subtle dance of words and ideas that can sway minds and shape decisions. But what exactly is this art, and how can we harness its power in our own lives? At its core, this art is about understanding the human psyche, what motivates us, what moves us, what compels us to action. It's about tapping into the deep-seated desires and fears that drive human behavior. But more than that, it's about using this understanding ethically and responsibly to achieve our goals and make a positive impact on the world around us. This art, dear reader, is the art of persuasion. Now you might be thinking, persuasion? Isn't that just a fancy word for manipulation? And it's true. In the wrong hands, persuasive techniques can be used to manipulate and deceive. But that's not what we're here to explore. Instead, we're going to delve into the world of ethical persuasion, the kind that respects the autonomy of others while still allowing us to effectively communicate our ideas and achieve our goals. But why is persuasion so important for effective communication? First and foremost, it's a crucial tool for achieving personal and professional goals. Whether you're pitching a new idea to your boss, convincing a client to choose your services, or simply trying to get your kids to eat their vegetables, the ability to persuade can make all the difference. Moreover, persuasion is a key component of effective leadership. Leaders who can articulate their vision persuasively are more likely to inspire and motivate their teams. They can rally people around a common cause, drive change, and navigate challenges more effectively. To truly understand persuasion, we need to delve into its fundamental principles. One of the most enduring frameworks for understanding persuasion comes from ancient Greece. The philosopher Aristotle identified 3 key elements of persuasion: ethos, pathos, and logos. Ethos refers to the credibility or character of the speaker. It's about establishing trust and demonstrating that you're knowledgeable and reliable. Pathos appeals to the emotions of the audience, tapping into their feelings and values. Logos, on the other hand, is about logic and reason, presenting a clear, rational argument to support your position. But persuasion isn't just about these classical elements. Modern psychology has revealed a wealth of insights into how our minds work and how we can be influenced. Principles like reciprocity, the tendency to return a favor, social proof, following the actions of others, and scarcity, valuing things that are rare or limited, all play a role in how we make decisions and respond to persuasive messages. Understanding these principles is crucial, but the real art lies in how we apply them. This is where the craft of persuasive messaging comes into play. One of the most powerful tools in the persuader's arsenal is storytelling. Humans are hardwired to respond to narratives. We've been sharing stories since the dawn of language. A well-crafted story can bypass our logical defenses and speak directly to our emotions and values. But storytelling isn't just about spinning a good yarn. It's about framing your arguments in a way that resonates with your audience. This involves understanding their perspective, anticipating their concerns, and presenting your ideas in a way that aligns with their values and goals. Of course, all of this must be done with a strong ethical foundation. Ethical persuasion is not about tricking people or coercing them into doing what you want. It's about presenting your ideas honestly and transparently, respecting the autonomy of your audience, and seeking mutually beneficial outcomes. Honesty and integrity are paramount in ethical persuasion. This means being truthful about your intentions, transparent about your evidence, and willing to acknowledge the limitations or potential drawbacks of your position. It also means respecting your audience, their intelligence, their values, and their right to make their own decisions. But even with the most ethical approach, you're likely to encounter resistance. People naturally resist change and are often skeptical of new ideas. Overcoming this resistance is a crucial skill in persuasion. One effective strategy is to anticipate and address potential counter-arguments before they're raised. By acknowledging and responding to objections proactively, you demonstrate that you've thought critically about your position and are open to dialogue. Building consensus is another powerful technique for overcoming resistance. This involves finding common ground with your audience and gradually moving towards agreement. It's not about winning an argument, but about collaboratively reaching a shared understanding or solution. To truly master these persuasive techniques, practice is essential. One practical exercise, particularly suitable for those who prefer audio learning, is to craft and practice delivering a persuasive speech on a topic of your choice. Start by choosing a subject you're passionate about. Then, apply the principles we've discussed. Use ethos to establish your credibility, pathos to connect emotionally with your audience, and logos to present a logical argument. Practice delivering this speech, paying attention to your tone, pacing, and emphasis. Another valuable exercise is to analyze persuasive techniques in advertisements. As you listen to radio ads or watch TV commercials, try to identify the persuasive strategies being used. Are they appealing to emotions or logic? How are they establishing credibility? What psychological principles are they leveraging? This practice will help you become more aware of persuasive techniques in action and how they can be applied effectively. As you begin to incorporate these practices into your daily life, you'll likely notice some immediate improvements. A good outcome might be an improved ability to influence decisions. You'll find yourself more capable of presenting your ideas convincingly, whether in personal or professional settings. With continued practice, you may achieve an excellent outcome, the ability to persuade others while maintaining high ethical standards. This balance of effectiveness and integrity is the hallmark of truly skilled communicators. The best outcome, however, is becoming a trusted leader and influencer. When you consistently communicate persuasively and ethically, people will come to respect your opinions and seek out your guidance. You'll find yourself in a position to make a real difference, whether in your workplace, your community, or even on a larger scale. Of course, the path to mastering persuasive techniques isn't without its pitfalls. One common danger is falling into manipulative tactics. In our eagerness to persuade, we might be tempted to exaggerate, omit important information, or play on people's fears. The solution is to always keep ethical considerations at the forefront of your mind. Ask yourself, am I being honest? Am I respecting my audience? Am I seeking a mutually beneficial outcome? Another challenge is audience resistance. Sometimes, no matter how well we craft our message, our audience simply isn't receptive. The key here is adaptability. Learn to read your audience, understand their needs and concerns, and be willing to adjust your approach accordingly. Remember, persuasion is not about forcing your will on others, but about finding common ground and building understanding. As we conclude this exploration of persuasive techniques, it's clear that this skill is about much more than just getting people to do what you want. It's about communicating your ideas effectively, inspiring others to action, and creating positive change in the world around you. Persuasion, when used ethically and skillfully, is a powerful force for good. The journey to mastering persuasive techniques is ongoing. Each interaction presents a new opportunity to apply and refine your skills. As you move forward, remember that the goal isn't to become a master manipulator, but to become a more effective communicator and a positive influence in your personal and professional life. As we look ahead to the next chapter, we'll build on the foundation of persuasive techniques to explore another crucial dimension of effective communication. We've learned how to influence others positively, but what happens when opinions clash and tensions rise? How do we navigate the choppy waters of disagreement and conflict? The answer lies in a set of skills that can transform potential confrontations into opportunities for growth and understanding. Prepare to discover how this next piece of the puzzle can elevate your ability to communicate even in the most challenging situations, turning discord into harmony and conflict into collaboration. Chapter 7: Conflict Resolution. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where tensions were rising, voices were getting louder, and it seemed like there was no way out? A moment where you felt stuck between a rock and a hard place, with no clear path forward. These moments of conflict are an inevitable part of human interaction, but they don't have to be dead ends. In fact, they can be gateways to deeper understanding, stronger relationships, and innovative solutions if we know how to navigate them. But what exactly is this skill that can turn potential disasters into opportunities? How can we learn to face disagreements head-on without burning bridges or compromising our values? The answer lies in a set of techniques and strategies that, when mastered, can transform the way we handle conflicts in both our personal and professional lives. At its core, this skill is about more than just avoiding arguments or keeping the peace. It's about understanding the nature of conflict itself, recognizing its potential for growth, and harnessing that potential to create positive outcomes. It's about developing the ability to stay calm in the face of disagreement, to listen deeply even when emotions are running high, and to find common ground where none seem to exist. This skill, dear reader, is the art of conflict resolution. Now, you might be thinking, conflict resolution? Isn't that just about compromising or giving in to keep everyone happy? But that's far from the truth. Effective conflict resolution isn't about avoiding disagreements or always finding a middle ground. It's about addressing conflicts head-on in a way that respects all parties involved and seeks to find solutions that genuinely meet everyone's needs. But why is conflict resolution so important for effective communication? First and foremost, it's crucial for maintaining healthy relationships. Whether in our personal lives or professional settings, conflicts are inevitable. How we handle these conflicts can either strengthen our relationships or damage them irreparably. By developing strong conflict resolution skills, we can ensure that disagreements become opportunities for growth and deeper understanding rather than sources of resentment or division. Moreover, conflict resolution is essential for enhancing team collaboration. In any group setting, different opinions, working styles, and priorities can lead to conflicts. The ability to navigate these conflicts constructively can mean the difference between a team that's paralyzed by disagreements and one that leverages diverse perspectives to achieve outstanding results. To truly master conflict resolution, we need to start by understanding the nature of conflict itself. Conflicts arise from various sources: differences in values, competing interests, miscommunication, or even just different personalities. Some conflicts are substantive, focusing on concrete issues like resource allocation or decision-making processes. Others are more relational, stemming from emotional or interpersonal issues. Recognizing the type and source of a conflict is the first step in addressing it effectively. Is the disagreement about the problem itself, or is it about how the problem is being discussed? Is it a clash of values or a misunderstanding of intentions? By accurately diagnosing the nature of the conflict, we can choose the most appropriate strategies for resolution. One of the most crucial skills in conflict resolution is communication. But not just any communication. We need specific strategies that work even when emotions are running high and tensions are mounting. Active listening becomes even more critical in these situations. It involves not just hearing the words being said, but truly seeking to understand the underlying concerns, needs, and emotions being expressed. In conflict situations, it's easy to fall into the trap of planning our response while the other person is speaking, rather than truly listening. By practicing active listening, we can break this habit and create space for real understanding. This might involve paraphrasing what you've heard to check for accuracy, asking clarifying questions, or acknowledging the emotions being expressed. Another key communication strategy is the use of assertive rather than aggressive communication. Assertiveness allows us to express our own needs and concerns clearly and respectfully without attacking or dismissing the other person's perspective. It's about standing up for ourselves while still leaving room for collaboration and mutual understanding. As we delve deeper into conflict resolution, we encounter powerful negotiation techniques that can help us find win-win solutions. One such approach is interest-based negotiation. This method focuses on identifying the underlying interests behind each party's stated positions. Often, we get stuck arguing over specific demands or positions, without understanding why those things are important to each party, interests. By shifting the focus to interests, we open up more possibilities for creative problem solving. For instance, two people might be arguing over who gets to use a particular resource. Their positions might be, "I need it," versus "No, I need it." But by exploring their interests, why they need the resource and what they hope to achieve with it, we might find alternative solutions that meet both parties' needs. Finding common ground is another crucial aspect of negotiation and conflict resolution. Even in the most heated disagreements, there are usually some shared interests or values. Identifying these areas of agreement can create a foundation for further discussion and problem solving. It reminds both parties that they're not entirely at odds and can work together towards a solution. But what about situations where the conflict seems too complex or emotionally charged for the parties to resolve on their own? This is where problem-solving approaches like mediation come into play. Mediation involves a neutral third party who helps facilitate communication and negotiation between the conflicting parties. A skilled mediator can help create a safe space for dialogue, ensure all perspectives are heard, and guide the parties towards finding their own solutions. To truly internalize these conflict resolution skills, practice is essential. One effective exercise, particularly suitable for those who prefer audio learning, is to mentally role-play conflict scenarios. Think of a recent or ongoing conflict in your life. Imagine the conversation unfolding, but this time apply the principles we've discussed. How would you use active listening? How might you express your needs assertively? How could you explore underlying interests? Another valuable practice is to reflect on past conflicts and identify potential solutions. Think about a conflict that didn't go well. With the benefit of hindsight and the strategies we've discussed, how might you handle it differently now? This reflection can help you internalize these skills and prepare you for future conflicts. As you begin to incorporate these practices into your daily life, you'll likely notice some immediate improvements. A good outcome might be the ability to remain calm during conflicts. You'll find yourself better able to manage your emotions and think clearly, even in tense situations. With continued practice, you may achieve an excellent outcome, resolving disputes effectively. You'll become adept at navigating complex disagreements, finding solutions that satisfy all parties involved. The best outcome, however, is the ability to transform conflicts into opportunities for stronger relationships. When handled skillfully, conflicts can lead to deeper understanding, increased trust, and more robust solutions to problems. You'll find that your relationships, both personal and professional, become stronger and more resilient as a result of working through conflicts together. Of course, the path to mastering conflict resolution isn't without its challenges. One common pitfall is the escalation of conflict. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, tensions can rise and the situation can spiral out of control. The key here is to practice de-escalation techniques. This might involve taking a break to cool down, reframing the issue in less charged terms, or finding a small point of agreement to build upon. Another potential issue is conflict avoidance. While it might seem easier to ignore problems in the short term, unaddressed conflicts tend to grow and become more difficult to resolve over time. The solution is to address issues proactively. By tackling conflicts early and head-on, we can prevent them from festering and becoming more serious. As we conclude this exploration of conflict resolution, it's clear that this skill is about much more than just solving problems or keeping the peace. It's about transforming the way we interact with others, turning potential sources of division into opportunities for growth and collaboration. Conflict resolution empowers us to face disagreements with confidence, knowing that we have the tools to navigate even the most challenging situations. The journey to mastering conflict resolution is ongoing. Each conflict we encounter presents a new opportunity to apply and refine our skills. As you move forward, remember that the goal isn't to eliminate all conflicts. That's neither possible nor desirable. Instead, the aim is to approach conflicts constructively, seeing them as natural parts of human interaction that, when handled well, can lead to positive outcomes. As we look ahead to the next chapter, we'll build on the foundation of conflict resolution to explore another crucial dimension of effective communication. We've learned how to navigate disagreements and find solutions. But how do we ensure continuous improvement in our interactions? How can we give and receive the kind of input that leads to growth and development? The answer lies in a skill that can transform the way we learn from each other and evolve in our communication abilities. Prepare to discover how this next piece of the puzzle can elevate your capacity for self-reflection, openness to change, and ability to foster growth in yourself and others. Chapter 8. Feedback Mastery. Have you ever received a comment about your work or behavior that left you feeling confused, defensive, or even hurt? Or perhaps you've been in a position where you needed to provide input to someone else, but struggled to find the right words, fearing how they might react. These scenarios highlight a critical aspect of communication that often goes overlooked, yet has the power to transform relationships, boost performance, and drive personal growth. But what exactly is this powerful tool, and why does it seem to be simultaneously so important and so challenging? At its core, this tool is about exchange, an exchange of information, perspectives, and insights. It's a mirror that allows us to see ourselves through the eyes of others, and a lens through which we can help others see themselves more clearly. But it's not just any exchange, it's one that, when done skillfully, can unlock potential, foster understanding, and catalyze improvement. This tool, dear reader, is feedback. But not just any feedback. We're talking about mastering the art of giving and receiving feedback in a way that promotes growth, enhances performance, and strengthens relationships. Now, you might be thinking, feedback? Isn't that just telling people what they're doing wrong? But that's far from the truth. Effective feedback is not about criticism or judgment. It's about providing information that helps individuals and teams understand their impact, recognize their strengths, and identify areas for improvement. It's a powerful catalyst for growth and development, both personally and professionally. But why is feedback so important for effective communication? First and foremost, it's a crucial tool for promoting growth and development. Without feedback, we're operating in a vacuum, unaware of how our actions and words affect others or how we might improve. Feedback provides the external perspective we need to recognize our blind spots, reinforce positive behaviors, and adjust course when necessary. Moreover, feedback is essential for enhancing team performance. In any collaborative environment, the ability to give and receive constructive feedback can mean the difference between a team that stagnates and one that continuously improves and innovates. It fosters open communication, aligns expectations, and helps create a shared understanding of goals and standards. To truly harness the power of feedback, we need to understand its role as a tool for growth. Feedback isn't about pointing out flaws or assigning blame. Instead, it's about providing information that helps individuals and teams perform better. It's a gift, sometimes a challenging one to give or receive, but a gift nonetheless. When we reframe feedback in this way, it becomes less threatening and more valuable. Creating a feedback culture is another crucial aspect of feedback mastery. This involves fostering an environment where feedback is not just accepted, but actively sought out and appreciated. In a strong feedback culture, people feel safe giving and receiving honest input, and they understand that feedback is a normal and necessary part of growth and improvement. But how do we actually give feedback in a way that's constructive and effective? One powerful framework for structuring feedback is the SBI model: situation, behavior, impact. This approach helps keep feedback specific and objective, reducing the likelihood of defensive reactions. When using the SBI framework, you start by describing the specific situation in which the behavior occurred. Then, you objectively describe the behavior you observed, without interpretation or judgment. Finally, you explain the impact of that behavior, how it affected you, the team, or the outcome of the situation. For example, instead of saying, "You're always late," which is general and accusatory, you might say, "In yesterday's team meeting situation, you arrived 15 minutes after the scheduled start time," behavior. "This meant we had to recap the first part of the meeting for you, which delayed our decision-making process," impact. Of course, there are do's and don'ts when it comes to giving feedback. Do be specific, timely, and focused on behavior rather than personality. Don't use absolutes like always or never, and avoid making assumptions about intentions. The goal is to provide information that the recipient can act on, not to vent frustrations or make judgments. But feedback mastery isn't just about giving feedback. It's equally important to learn how to receive feedback gracefully. This can be challenging, as our natural instinct is often to become defensive when faced with criticism. Managing these defensive reactions is a crucial skill. It involves staying calm, listening actively, and focusing on understanding rather than immediately responding or justifying. One effective strategy for receiving feedback is to view it as an opportunity for growth rather than a personal attack. Try to extract value from the criticism, even if you don't agree with all of it. Ask clarifying questions to ensure you understand the feedback fully. And remember, you don't have to accept all feedback as true, but you should always consider it carefully. The ultimate goal of feedback mastery is continuous improvement. This involves setting actionable goals based on the feedback you receive and monitoring your progress over time. It's about using feedback as a springboard for growth, constantly refining your skills and behaviors based on the input you receive. To truly internalize these feedback skills, practice is essential. One effective exercise, particularly suitable for those who prefer audio learning, is to practice framing feedback using the SBI model in your mind. As you go about your day, observe situations around you and mentally construct feedback using this framework. This will help you become more comfortable with the structure and more adept at formulating clear, specific feedback. Another valuable practice is to reflect on feedback you've received and identify growth areas. Think about recent feedback you've been given. How did you react in the moment? What valuable insights can you extract from it? What specific actions can you take to improve based on this feedback? As you begin to incorporate these practices into your daily life, you'll likely notice some immediate improvements. A good outcome might be increased comfort in giving and receiving feedback. You'll find yourself less anxious about providing input to others and more open to receiving feedback yourself. With continued practice, you may achieve an excellent outcome, using feedback to drive personal and team improvement. You'll become adept at leveraging feedback to enhance your own performance and to help your team reach new levels of effectiveness. The best outcome, however, is fostering a culture of open communication and continuous growth. When feedback becomes a natural, appreciated part of your interactions, it creates an environment where everyone is constantly learning, improving, and supporting each other's development. Of course, the path to feedback mastery isn't without its challenges. One common pitfall is feedback misinterpretation. Sometimes, despite our best efforts to be clear, the recipient might misunderstand our intentions or the message itself. The key here is to clarify. Ask the recipient to summarize what they heard and provide additional explanation if needed. Another potential issue is resistance to feedback. Some people may have had negative experiences with feedback in the past, making them reluctant to engage in the process. The solution is to cultivate an open mindset, both in yourself and in your team. Emphasize the value of feedback for growth and improvement, and lead by example by actively seeking and positively responding to feedback yourself. As we conclude this exploration of feedback mastery, it's clear that this skill is about much more than just giving and receiving criticism. It's about creating a culture of continuous improvement, where open communication drives growth and development. Feedback mastery empowers us to see ourselves more clearly, to help others improve, and to create environments where everyone can thrive. The journey to mastering feedback is ongoing, Each interaction presents a new opportunity to apply and refine these skills. As you move forward, remember that the goal isn't perfect feedback every time. That's neither possible nor necessary. Instead, the aim is to approach feedback as a valuable tool for growth and understanding, one that can transform the way we communicate and collaborate. As we look ahead to the final chapter, we'll build on everything we've learned so far to explore the ultimate goal of our communication journey. We've mastered various skills and techniques, but how do we bring them all together to become truly exceptional communicators? How can we integrate these abilities to not just speak, but to inspire, influence, and lead? The answer lies in a concept that goes beyond mere skill. It's about finding and projecting your authentic voice in a way that resonates deeply with others. Prepare to discover how this final piece of the puzzle can elevate your communication to a level you may have never thought possible, transforming not just how you speak, but how you're heard and understood in every aspect of your life. Chapter 9, Empowered Voice. As we reach the final chapter of our journey through the art of communication, it's time to step back and consider the bigger picture. We've explored various techniques, strategies, and skills throughout this book, each a powerful tool in its own right. But the true magic happens when we bring all these elements together, integrating them into a cohesive whole that becomes more than the sum of its parts. This integration is what we call finding your empowered voice. It's not just about speaking louder or more confidently, though those might be side effects. It's about discovering and projecting your authentic self through your communication, backed by the critical thinking skills we've honed throughout this book. So, how can what you've learned empower you? First and foremost, you've become a more effective communicator. You now have the tools to express yourself clearly, listen actively, think critically, manage emotions, persuade ethically, resolve conflicts, and give and receive feedback. These skills, when combined, create a formidable communication toolkit that you can deploy in any situation. But it's not just about the skills themselves, it's about the confidence they bring. Armed with these techniques, you'll find yourself more at ease in diverse situations. Whether you're giving a presentation to a large audience, negotiating a deal, or having a heart-to-heart conversation with a loved one, you'll approach these scenarios with a newfound sense of capability and assurance. This empowerment extends beyond just your ability to communicate. It has the potential to transform your relationships, both personal and professional. In your personal life, you'll find that your connections deepen as you become better at expressing yourself authentically and understanding others empathetically. Misunderstandings will decrease, and your ability to navigate difficult conversations will improve. Professionally, your enhanced communication skills will open doors you might never have imagined. You'll be better equipped to collaborate with colleagues, present ideas persuasively, and lead teams effectively. Your ability to think critically and express yourself clearly will make you a valuable asset in any organization. Consider for a moment what you can achieve now that might have seemed impossible before. Complex discussions that once left you feeling overwhelmed or confused, you now have the tools to navigate them with ease, breaking down complex ideas, asking insightful questions, and synthesizing information effectively. Leadership opportunities that once seemed out of reach. Your ability to influence others ethically and lead through clear communication makes you a natural choice for such roles. You can inspire and motivate others, not through manipulation or force, but through genuine connection and clear articulation of shared goals and values. But here's the real beauty of what you've learned. It's not a static skill set. As you continue to practice these concepts, you'll find that they become more and more ingrained in your natural communication style. What once required conscious effort will become second nature. You'll build habits for automatic excellence, freeing up mental energy to focus on the content of your communication rather than the mechanics. This is the essence of lifelong learning and communication. It's not about reaching a final destination where you're the perfect communicator. Instead, it's about embracing a journey of continuous improvement, always seeking to refine and enhance your skills. As you synthesize the critical thinking skills you've learned, you'll find yourself naturally integrating different techniques in response to various scenarios. Active listening might lead to insightful questions, which in turn inform your persuasive arguments. Emotional intelligence might help you navigate a conflict, which then becomes an opportunity for constructive feedback. This integration allows you to adapt fluidly to different communication challenges. Difficult conversations that once filled you with dread, you now have the tools to approach them with confidence, maintaining your composure even under pressure. You can articulate your thoughts clearly, manage emotions effectively, and work towards constructive outcomes. But your journey doesn't end with mastering these skills for yourself. As you continue to grow and develop, you'll find yourself in a position to inspire and guide others. Your example of clear, thoughtful, and empathetic communication will influence those around you, creating a ripple effect that extends far beyond your immediate interactions. As you look to the future, consider setting new communication goals for yourself. Perhaps you want to become a thought leader in your field, known for your insightful contributions to complex discussions. Maybe you aspire to be a mentor, helping others develop their communication skills. Or you might aim to use your enhanced abilities to advocate for causes you're passionate about, amplifying voices that need to be heard. Whatever your goals, remember that communication is a lifelong journey. Embrace change, seek out new challenges, and never stop learning. The world of communication is constantly evolving, with new technologies and platforms emerging all the time. Stay curious, stay open, and always be willing to adapt and grow. As we conclude this book, I want to leave you with a powerful truth. Your voice matters. The skills you've developed, the insights you've gained, and the authentic self you've learned to express, all of these have the power to make a real difference in the world. Whether you're speaking to one person or addressing thousands, whether you're writing a memo or crafting a speech, your words have the potential to inform, inspire, and ignite change. You now possess the tools to cut through the noise of everyday communication and speak with clarity, purpose, and impact. You can navigate complex ideas with ease, connect with others on a deeper level, and lead with confidence and authenticity. You have the power to turn conflicts into opportunities, criticism into growth, and challenges into triumphs. But here's the real payoff, the true value of everything we've explored. You have the ability to create understanding where there was confusion, to build bridges where there were walls, and to inspire action where there was apathy. Your empowered voice is not just a tool for personal success, it's a force for positive change in the world around you. So go forth and speak smartly. Use your critical thinking skills to analyze, your emotional intelligence to connect, your persuasive abilities to influence, and your authentic voice to inspire. Be the communicator who doesn't just convey information, but who transforms ideas into action, who doesn't just speak, but who moves people. Remember, every conversation is an opportunity. Every interaction is a chance to make a difference. With your empowered voice, you have the power to shape thoughts, change minds, and touch hearts. Use it wisely, use it often, and watch as your words create ripples that turn into waves of positive change. The journey doesn't end here. In many ways, it's just beginning. As you've mastered the art of speaking smartly, you may find yourself wondering how to truly leverage these skills to achieve your deepest desires and loftiest goals. There's a missing piece that can elevate your newfound abilities to unprecedented heights. What if you could not only communicate effectively, but also influence others with precision and integrity? The answer lies in mastering the art of persuasion, a skill that complements and amplifies everything you've learned. To take your transformation to the next level and unlock the full potential of your empowered voice, dive into the audiobook, Persuasion Mastery: How to Get Anything You Want from Anyone. Tap the center of the video now to continue your transformation journey.